As Zine Quest rages on Kickstarter, I've been looking there daily trying to find something to review. And as much as this isn't part of Zine Quest, I want to talk to you about Scale Mail, which is a TTRPG fantasy D20 based system. But wait there is a really cool difference with this one. It kind of combines this sort of dice chain mechanic of Dungeon Crawl Classics. It's really actually interesting what it's done. It's from publisher Jason Duff, the creator of Heroes and Hardships, as you can see over my left shoulder. There will be a review coming of that at some stage, but this isn't the reason why I'm covering it, because it's done by Jason. I was just going through it, and actually that's like, you look through the Quickstart Rules, it's really good. It's got a really interesting adventure that actually makes me feel a little bit sad that I can't quite work out who the antagonist and who the protagonist is, but I'll let you decide that once you download it and find the adventure. Let me just take you through to the Kickstarter page and show you. So here we have the Kickstarter page for Scale Mail, a tabletop role-playing game, an easy-to-learn fantasy tabletop game that's accessible for gamers of all ages and all skills. So this is quite important. It's a very rule-light and interesting. Say the way it uses the dice chain is good. It's already funded, so it will be coming out. We've got 112 backers, and we've got 6 days to go at time of recording. So what is Scale Mail? Scale Mail is an exciting new rule-set light tabletop game in which players take on roles of adventurers seeking fortunes in the wild and dangerous world. It is simple skills that's been designed for quick, easy solution, for a group of tables. It can be soloed, which is good, but it is really easy to teach for new players. It's so easy, I got it very quickly. What are you going to get in the rule book? Obviously, the rules of play, how to make the adventure. You're going to get a load of gear and equipment, got a load of spells in here to venture in, how to sort of narrate your own world. It's going to come with its own world of Motus, which refers to a primer of the Northern Kingdoms and a strange phenomenon of the Murk. And then it's got, last but not least, it's got a load of enemies and stuff in here. So if you want to download the Quick Start Guide that I'm going to go through today, it is here. I'll timestamp the Quick Start Guide, but these are the rules in essence. So we've got 5 attributes: strength, charm, agility, logic, and ego. Should sound very familiar if you're, fans of Dungeons & Dragons, Shadow Dark, any of those. And you're always going to be rolling a D20. Again, Dungeons & Dragons, Shadow Dark, Pathfinder, all nice and simple. But what you're going to do then is you're going to have your strength, charm, agility, logic, or whatever it may be, and you're going to roll a die for that. You might have no die, or you may have up to a D8 in it. Actually, occasionally you might have a D12, and you're going to roll that alongside it. Add them together, gives you the skill. So you don't get a skill check of +2. So you roll 12 on the dice, you're going to get 14. With this, you're going to get 12 on the dice. You then get to roll the die for that attribute that runs alongside it. Really, really cool and interesting. But more as you're more skilled or you are favoured or disadvantaged, it's got that skill chain. So if you normally roll a d6 on that and you've got a skill and the weather is favourable, for example, you might go from a d6 to rolling a d12. Or if it's more difficult, instead of the d6, you might be rolling a d4 or nothing. It's really, really interesting that, so it's D20 system, but you've got that really cool sort of dice chain Dungeon Crawl Classics. I really like what it does here to actually modify. Keeps it nice and simple. Sometimes you'll be rolling one die. I think the most that you're ever going to roll is 2 from what I could work out. When you're attacking, so the one thing that you will get is you will get an attack, roll to attack and defend on here as well. And then we've got extended tasks that may help the narrator to stroke drama and tension, with things like outside of combat. You're going to build your own adventure, so you've got freeform ancestries with the option to customize into dwarves, elves, gnomes, humans, and orcs. But you've got some old school ones. You've got some skeletal quasi-undead, or a welder, a humanoid animal that's affected by civilizations. You're going to have vocations, which are going to sort of give you the skills for your character. Say, if you've got +2 in a skill, that means you're going to go +2 up on that dice chain. You're going to have patrons as well, so divine patrons that are going to give you determination points. Probably should talk about determination points. You get 3 determination points, and each determination point you can use, if you're going to die, to recover, you can use them to re-roll. It's like the in-game meta currency, but you only get them back, from what I can see, at the end of an adventure. You don't get them at the start of each session, so just spend them wisely. It's a level-based game, so you will pick your class and you will level up to level 10. But within that class, you're going to have 7 paths, which are going to give you different traits, skill sets, etc. And here we've got straightforward gear, so weapons, armor, and tools. It is a magical world, so there are going to be 6 different tiers of magic spells that they can cast. The rulebook's going to have 16 different schools of magic with over 90 unique spells. You will have mana points. When the adventure that's actually back in the back of the Kickstart rule, there are a couple of characters in there that do have spells, so you will actually be able to sort of play test and actually test the spells out and see how they work as well. There'll be 60 enchanted items in the world. It's going to take you through adventure and sort of character advancement in here, the journey itself, the downtime between adventures, such things as carousing, sounds familiar, crafting, enchanting, getting a regular job. Boo, who wants that? Or just sitting down and relaxing. Gaining new and training pets. That's what I always like to have, the option for players to have pets. One of my friends, Rob, he's obsessed with having this pet or an animal. And what I really like about it is we'll go a couple of sessions and then he hasn't mentioned it. And we're like, have you fed it? Is it still alive? Where's it pooing at night? It's pooing next to you. It's not pooing near us. Make the animals and remind the players, if they are going to have pets. So we've got over 50 unique enemies in here to include to challenge the adventures at any time. Enemies are categorized by their type for ease of reference, and they include ferocious beasts, vile demons, primal dragons, cunning mercborn, strange monstrosities, and sinister undead. A few examples, and then of some beasts here. So what we've got, a bat swarm and a bear. There's bear stats actually in the adventure as well coming up. So we've got the World of Motus, is a northern kingdom. The only land still free of the murk. Yeah, the ties of each region are a divine patron. The coming of the murk is spread, and there's no AI. Always good to see. If you want to grab just the PDF, it's $15, $35 for the soft core rulebook, $45 for hardback. If we can get to 3,000, are we at 3,000 yet? I probably should check. That's going to be dollars, isn't it? So that does mean 3,700. That means solo rules are up, which is good because it does say in there solo rules are going to be included. So we haven't quite got the multi-stage menaces, whatever that is. I'm never overly worried about fulfillment. It's going to come in when it happens, but VAT and taxes will be collected from backer kit. We've got all the costs for shipping here, and the digital fulfillment, just missed that bit out, sorry, is going to come through Drive-Through RPG. Some exceptional stuff here for Australian, Canadian and Japanese backers, which you can go and read in your own time. Right, let's just then jump over and let's have a look at the Quickstart rules, so you can get an idea of the artwork and everything. So it is, as you say, it's designed for players of any age, so I think you kind of get that with the artwork. I'm very, art is very subjective. It does seem more child-friendly. Let's go with the artwork. And we've got 45 pages here in the Quickstart rules. So you've also got, as I said, the pre-gens are here. So we've got 6 pre-generated characters. So Barbus, Drydy, and we've got all the stats and abilities here. This is what I mean about the attributes. So here, like, for example, this character here has got strength of a D4, charm 0, agility D6, logic D4, ego a D4. And then we've got the chain here running across the bottom to make it simple. You've got your defense dice, and then where you are, the path that you're finding, and then sort of ancestral traits, vocations, paths and stuff. And so we've got an orc, a wanderer, a weaver, and then we've got one of the magic and another weaver here, level 2. So as you can see from the casting skills, you've got mana costs, your dice to roll, and then just the sort of the spells themselves, mana cost and what they do. Before I get into this, so we've got the designer and developer, which is Michael Larrymore, and then we've got all the editing, art covers, and all of that just down here on the right hand side. I think I pretty much covered the rule set in here, but just say an adventurer with no rating in an attribute does not roll the mod dice, so you're just going to get your D20, while an exceptional roll might be a D12 on there, which is quite cool. So difficulty rolls, standard roll is going to be a 12, yeah, so that's normal. 8 would be easy, because remember, you're rolling, you're either taking the D20 or the D20 plus the mod die and adding them together. 8 is easy, 16 challenging, all the way up to epic, which is 24. We've got, is the reminder of the mod scale, which is actually called in here. So, if you've got a +2 increase and you're normally going to roll a D6 here, you're going to be rolling a D10 on top, which is, I think, is probably how you get to that D12. It's going to be, but remember, if things go negatively or badly, or you've got lots of modifiers against you, you could be rolling a D20 minus a D12. I like this. I really like the idea of upping steps up and down. From a skill point of view, your adventures pick up skills to improve their chances of certain tasks. Say, increasing the mod die +1. So everything increases or decreases that mod die. So weapons may do this as well. So here we go. Here's the 4 things for determination. So, which is your meta currency. You've got 3 determination points. After making a roll, you can spend 1 determination point to re-roll your chance dice. So that's the d20, and take the better result. That's quite cool. Better result. So that means if you've still succeeded, and you want to try and succeed better, I like that one. After you make a roll, you can spend 1 determination dice to determine your die modifier, for example, to its maximum value. So if you roll a d8 and you've got a 2, you can instantly turn it into an 8. That's really good, because then you know you're not wasting that determination dice. Like that. Or if you lose your last life point, so you're not going to get many life points in this. You'll see that once we get into it. So as you can see on the character sheet, the maximum life points here is 10. So it's not going to sort of scale like other games. But you can spend 1 determination to remain at 1 life point. And for adventure, you can spend your determination points. Once it's gone, use them wisely, because you're only going to get them for that adventure. Okay. Then we've got the anatomy of the character sheet. So it's just going to take you through the adventurer's name, the path they've got. I think I've kind of shown you this, and determination, and then weapon groups. Oh yeah, because you get a group of weapons in here, so like sword and axe and things. From a combat point of view, it's going to be fairly standard. You're going to find out whether you spotted the combat first. If not, you're going to miss out the first round. You're then going to roll initiative, which is going to be based on agility. Whoever's got the highest goes first. On a turn, an adventurer is going to go on their turn. You need to make sure that each adventurer and each enemy gets their turn. An adventurer or an enemy on the turn gets 1 major action, 1 minor action. Okay, and then obviously you can make a defense roll if you are hit, which was, I think on that one example character, it was like a d8, so you can roll a d20 plus a d8 trying to beat the attack. But a major action, so you can assist to give someone +1 to the step. You can do an attack. If you hit, you're going to cause 1 life point or 2 life point if you hit by 5 or more. So the higher the roll over their difficulty, the more damage you're going to do. But as I say, 1 damage or 2 damage, max 10 hit points within 5 hits. Most things are going to be dead. You can cast a spell, you can defense, which is going to increase your defense by +2. You can perform a roll, so such as picking a lock, etc. Or you can use an item. Magic items: draw or stow a weapon, drink a potion, move, stand up. You can also always switch your major action for a minor action. So if you want to draw 2 weapons, if you want to drink 2 potions, if you want to drink a potion and move or move twice, you can actually do that. Casting spells are going to go against the difficulty on the character sheet. Defense we've already covered. If you lose your last health point, you are going to be knocked out or unconscious. We've got some conditions in here, so dazed, fearful, impaired, things that I don't think should be unfamiliar to most people that are in the hobby. But if you do get that sort of specific keyword, just read this section to find out how you deal with it, and the impact of it and how it stops. Then if you're going to rest, you can take some time out, and that's how you're going to help get your hit points, your health and your mana points back. If you're using a battle map, you can do. It recommends that characters can go each zone is 5 feet, and then characters can move up to 20 feet. And it just talks about area effect, burst, cone, and cube, and then get on with it. So you then got the Manticore's Hunt, which is the rest of the book. It is, so what's that, 35-page adventure broken into 4 different chapters. All the maps are included, all the NPCs, all the monsters are in here. So it's quite a tragic little story. But what it will do is, like if you've played any of the Cubicle 7 starter sets or Free League, it's a relatively linear adventure, and it will tell you what to roll, when to roll it, and the impact of passing and failing and things like that. So it will build it very, very simply for the players. And realistically, well, I did. You can pretty much solo this. Do I cover the plot itself? I'm going to cover a little bit of it. So there were 2 manticores, a male and female manticore, and as manticores do, they find a place to live, and they may or may not have terrorized the local place because they're hungry. The local baron came along and wanted the manticore's head on his wall. He then sent out his lackeys, so to speak, to go and kill one of the manticores. They killed the manticore, posted the head on the wall, Said other man to call that's still in love with the fact that, you know, their partner has been killed, wants revenge. That's pretty much how it's going to work. Other things kind of happen, but yeah, I'm not going to spoil it any more than that. So I had a bit of a playthrough of the adventure because say it's a really good way of learning the rules. I really like this. I really like the fact it's a nice, basic, simple D20 system, but does something different. You know, that whole chain mechanic is really interesting. It's funded, so you know, if you are going to sort of jump on this, you should be pretty comfortable to know. Oh, I should have shown actually because where Jason Duff has got, I think, 7 other projects. So this is the 7th project that's already on there. So as well, but yeah, it's really good. I'm really surprised. Where I looked at the cover art and I was like, okay, let's just get into this. But that D20 chain is, it's going to be simple enough. I say to sit and play with my kids. There's no point. I'm not under any illusion, you know, at 14 and 15, my children are ever going to start in this hobby anymore. So I think I'm done. Could I was about to say, could you go and play this with other people's children? You could. I'm not sure that's the sort of thing I'm going to get into. I probably should edit that out. I don't know. I'm going to keep that in. But if you get my point, it's nice and simple. But I think because you've got that element of old school feel to it, I think people on this channel will also enjoy this. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm hopefully go back to proper Zine Quest stuff tomorrow, but I just wanted to get this out because this has only got 6 days to go. So if you've enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to my main channel, go and back this project, and look out for my review of Heroes and Hardships, which will be coming soon. Thank you for watching. Cheers.